the energies that be, the forces that be, tend to even things out. And you will sooner or later give your pound of flesh for your forward movement.
Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back. We got Mr. Chase Tolleson in the house, and this is my scariest part, when the guest gets to pick the topic. Because depending on how much sleep I've had or what I'm dealing with, they could catch me off guard, so it's all good.
I'm going to go light for this first one. When I bring my second one, we'll see how it lands. And this one, for your and I conversations, this may be a little down a different track, and I thought it was fitting for the people listening. I want to go with financial literacy.
Oof.
And yeah,
This is perfect.
Yeah, because people, like a lot of people and myself, I've been here, right? I was super fit and I was financially obese. And consumerism in America, because financial literacy, most people know, well, yeah, I spend less than I make. Okay, cool. How do you spend less? You release the connection, the want, the need to have that new $100 shirt, or those $200 shoes, or that $70,000 car. You drive around in a 2007 Toyota with $50,000 in the bank, and people think you're poor. You drive around with $1,000 car payment on a Lexus and living paycheck to paycheck, people think you're rich. There's something completely skewed there. And when you can quell the need to project what other people might think about your wealth and create true security for you and yours, that's power to me.
Wow. I love it. So here's the greatest thing. I already have, this is perfect because I came up with something 3 weeks ago that I'm going to talk about, but we're going to start here first. So the problem with financial literacy conversations is that we have inverted the conversation in the wrong direction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And hear me out. And I just thought of this when you were saying that. We're so focused on what we know and what we think. When it comes to financial literacy, it's about what you perceive and what you need people to perceive you of. That's the first conversation, right? Because here's a perfect example. I just saw an email the other day. Barely took a paycheck for 10 years, then sold his company for $90 million. Was he not a success in the first 9 years? Or was he only a success when he sold the money? The result, right? So the problem is that everybody wants to emulate financial literacy around the result. You know what Cassie said to me yesterday on our drive that was so amazing? She said, it's so weird that we say that guy has a lot of money. She goes, why wouldn't we say that guy has a lot of abundance? She goes, by saying he has a lot of money, you're saying he's above you. Yeah. But you could just say, oh, he has a lot of abundance in his life. And I was like, oh my God, what an amazing reframe. So it's more about the emotions that you have around and what you think people perceive you as before we even talk about, do you actually understand how money works, which is a whole different conversation.
A whole different conversation.
Because you know what money is, right? You know what money is, right? The entire world revolves around one basic rule. It's the simplest rule in the fucking entire world, and nobody knows it. It's called fucking arbitrage, okay? It's really not that complicated, guys. Okay, well, let me give you the simplest math. Blackstone has billions of dollars. So Blackstone gets its money for 2%, all right, from wherever the fuck it gets it from. Then lends it to my private equity group in Austin at the time at 6%. Then we sell it to investors at 10%. We're all making the delta. That's it.
You know what money is? It's a refined resource. And people, this is a cool analogy I heard recently. If you're driving down the street and you're low on gas, do you get emotional about it?
Of course.
Oh my God. What?
Yes, of course. Especially if you're in the middle of nowhere.
Well, if you're in the middle of nowhere, but if there's a gas station right there, it's kind of like, okay, cool. I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna get right. But if people get low in their bank account, they get super emotional. They get stressed. They get in this upregulated state. And for me, like, if you look at money, it's just, what's gas? It's a refined resource. It's a refined crude oil. money is yet another refined resource. And where do you get it? Where basically what you said, other people's bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And we could simplify it to levers like that, then it okay, cool. We have those little tactical pieces, and then we go back to the psychology of it, like we were talking about.
Well, what's great is this concept I came up with that I'm rebuilding my vision for my life for the next 10 years right now after everything that's happened, and I'm giving myself 6 months. Like I'm giving myself an entire 6 months to get as dialed in as like the coach I want to hire, where we're going to live, what kind of car I'm going to drive, where I'm going to focus my energy, like so serious, right? And it hit me perfectly. There's 3 types of money. And if I learned this as a 19-year-old, it would have changed my entire life. Okay? There's a short-term bucket, which is money that I can make in the next week or day. Where's that money coming from? Classify that money to me. Then there's mid-money, which mid-money is pops of cash, commission, sales of assets, etc., or owner distributed. Then you have long-term cash. So your long-term cash is equity that you own in a business or an asset that's going to pay you money over time on a compound scale, okay? So the game is to live off of your short-term money and your mid-term money until your long-term money shadows over short and mid, and then you're done. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's 100%. That's the plan. That's the framework right now. And I'll say this too: there will be L's. Like even with like financial literacy does not mean that you're only ever winning. It means you're getting up there and taking swings. Like for the listeners, like there's a good chance I'm losing 6 figures on a deal right now. And
it's not a good chance.
No, I'm trying to pitch it soft.
Yeah.
I lost 6 figures.
You're trying to come down to a soft landing.
Yeah.
Mentally and figuratively, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I could sit and like, oh man, where'd that go? What's that doing? Like, yeah, sure. The fact that we have other things playing makes that a little easier. And if I sat dwelling on that, it would make it infinitely more difficult to have multiple 5-figure months of my business. So
and pick up and carry on because here's the problem: you can lose something, and we all do. But what you're not paying attention to is by dwelling on it for multiple years, the opportunity cost you're losing in the next possibility. That's where people have it twisted. Oh, and let me do it different so it's easier for people to understand because money's a hard conversation. Oh, my ex-wife left me. All women hate me, and I'm never going to find somebody again. I've heard this a million times. And I go, wait, hold on. Did all women leave you, or did one woman leave you? Well, one woman.
Yeah.
Well, there's... Okay, so my question to you is, in a business situation, did all business deals that you were interacted in your entire career go bad, or did one bad deal go bad?
Exactly. Did all money in the world disappear, or did some of your money go into somebody else's bank account? It's still out there. It's just in somebody else's coffers.
I lost $35,000 in my first business, straight up. Lost it. Was still drinking at the time. Really having a rough go of it. I was in self-pity cyclone mode. And this is just when I started personal development, just when I got in a mastermind. And my buddy called me, and he said, hey, man, let me ask you a question. He said, did you leave your W-2 because of this? Yes. Did you go to college? Well, I dropped out 3 times. Okay. Did you go to business school at Wharton that I'm unaware of? No. Okay. Had you started a business at that scale before? No. Okay. So how much does a general college cost? That's about $100,000. He goes, so you're telling me that you saved $70,000 and you got the best business degree you've ever got in your entire life? Okay, we good? Now pick yourself up and let's get back to work.
Yep. Whatever you choose to believe in, the energies that be, the forces that be, tend to even things out. And you will sooner or later give your pound of flesh for your forward movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think the two best books I've read about money and just the understanding of money is Kyle Cease, The Illusion of Money, and the reason that you want it is the reason you don't have it. Absolutely amazing. And then Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel is just epic.
I read that one in January, and that was going to be one that I talked about on this chat. Like, like 20 short digestible chapters. You can read each chapter in like 10 minutes. Like I read the hard copy of that one, and I read it in 20 days because I knew he's geniusly written, because I knew I could read a chapter easy before bed, even after a long day.
Have you read his new one?
No.
I think it's even better.
Really?
So same as you ever, same as it ever was. It's about the history of business in the world. And he basically does the same thing and tells you how we all think everything's new, and it's all the fucking same.
Mm-hmm. It's all the same. Well, I mean, this is something I've been saying since I was in health and fitness. Principles transcend paradigms. Mm-hmm. So you might have had a village with a blacksmith and a cobbler and a farmer before, and those were their businesses and those were their trades. And that was the paradigm, that it was the small community. However, the principles that kept those people in business and created the thriving businesses and the empires back then are the same principles that work in the new online age.
Oh my God, it's so the truth. Well, guys, we gave you some tactical things, an amazing conversation about money, and I hope you got some value from this, and we'll see you next time. Guys, let me take a minute to tell you about my buddies over at Lead Hub, Ben and Aaron, the best humans I know. Not only are they amazing at marketing for trade companies, but Ben started his HVAC company in his garage, sold it for multi-million dollars. So when this guy talks, I listen. When we took over Dietz Mechanical, we had 22 reviews in 22 years. In 7 short months, we went from 22 reviews to 107. We went from a 4.2 to a 4.7. We tripled our Facebook presence and we tripled our calls. If you're an HVAC, plumbing, electric, landscaping company, and you're looking for a no BS approach to marketing, you're looking for people who have done it before, you got to go to leadhub.net